Good morning. My name is Dr. Richard Colgan. I'm an associate professor at the University of Maryland School of Medicine in Baltimore, where I'm also director of undergraduate education for the Department of Family and Community Medicine. We're going to hear some poetry of life stories from medical students and residents from throughout the United States. The idea for this talk came from a quote from Sir William Osler. The quote is, "Nothing will sustain you more potently than the power to recognize in your humdrum routine, or so it may seem, the true poetry of life. The poetry of the commonplace, of the ordinary man, of the plain toil-worn woman, with their loves and their joys, their sorrows and their griefs." I've wanted to share some of the art of medicine with residents and students, and I have just written a book entitled Advice to the Young Physician on the Art of Medicine, in which is a chapter entitled The Poetry of Life. And I invite you now to hear some poems that some students and residents have encountered in patients they've met through the years. Our next presenter is Marianne Moore from Crozier Keystone Residency Program.
Hi there, how are you? My name is Marianne Maurer. I am a third-year family medicine resident. I am at Crozier Keystone Family Medicine Residency, which is just outside Philadelphia. And my poem is called Globus. I should give you just a brief little bit of background. I came out of intern year thinking, this is great. I can recognize so much stuff. I was in love with being a technician, a diagnostician. And I don't think I yet grasped the idea that there's still a long way to go to get to that healer part that Dr. Colgan talked about so much. So early in my second year, a young woman came to me in the office with a respiratory complaint. One of the cheeriest, sweetest, happiest people I'd ever met. And we worked up her respiratory complaint, and she came back to see me a couple times just with some odd somatic complaints. She's having a little carpal tunnel, this sort of thing in my throat. I just something stuck there. So of course, like the diagnostician that I was now priding myself on being, we worked it from below. Did she have GERD? Yeah, she actually had some GERD. We worked it from above. Did she have postnasal drip? In fact, she did. And I even sent her for an NPL so that they could look at her larynx and see if she was having laryngospasm. But just wasn't going away. And did a little reading and talked it over with one of my preceptors, very wise and professorial, and he said, sounds like Globus. What's going on in her personal life? And at that point, I had been seeing her for months and realized I have no idea at all what's going on in her personal life. So for me, that was a point of recognition, but also a point of grief to say, gosh, I really don't know you at all. So writing has become sort of my way to get some of that jangling stuff out of my head and onto a piece of paper. So this is a poem that I wrote in honor of her and hopefully to remind myself to keep looking for the person. It's called Globus. I've been your doctor for 5 months, but I've never asked about your life. Your breathing? Bad. Your reflux? Continues. Your nerves? Shot. You look stressed. Tears pool in your eyes and voice. I'm leaving him soon. That lump in your throat that I couldn't fix now belongs to me. Thank you.